Hit 1,
Heart 2. Episode 238.
Hey, I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Wendy. Welcome to this week's show. And if you are new, thanks for checking us out. And welcome back to the older viewers. Longer viewers.
Returning viewers.
Returning viewers. Older sounds
viewers.
bad.
It does sound bad.
Sorry. I didn't mean it that way.
A couple of shout outs. Just a reminder that this is the last month for our Works in Progress Knit Along Crochet Along.
Yes.
And I'd like to say it's a short month. It is 29 days this year. It's leap year for February. Also, it's a continuation of the Blue Moon Knit Along. I will be drawing a prize. I've drawn a prize winner for January.
We'll be announcing it at the end.
We'll be announcing January's prize winner of the Blue Moon Knit Along. And comes out really good. We ended up having 13 entries.
Wow.
Not
That's
bad.
Pretty good.
Considering I thought we were only going to have like 2 or 3. So, where February is a shorter month, that's a possibility that we may only have a few. So, for anyone who hasn't tried it, I mean, I'm obviously a fan of it because I have 30 plus skeins.
I'm a fan of it too.
It's a really nice yarn. If you get a chance, check it out. It's really nice. If you're trying to save money, because Blue Moon, it's about $24, $25 a skein plus shipping. Check out the Ravelry D-Stash page of Blue Moon. You can usually get decent prices. It may not be the exact color you want, but you'd be surprised what you can get. I've seen a couple of skeins. There's one skein on there that it's one of her, I want to say pixie colors, where it's like just a hint of a color. But if you like dyeing, you could always over dye it. For $15. That's not bad.
And periodically they do sales where they give you grab bag sales, and you can get a fairly good deal on those.
Yeah, you're kind of limited on your color on that, though. But, I mean, if you're interested, just go through the D-Stash page. You might find something you like for a relatively cheaper price.
Yeah.
The average I've noticed is about $21 on the D-Stash page, which still isn't bad. So check it out. But don't feel that you have to go out and buy it to be part of this knit-along, because we are doing knit-alongs throughout the whole year with our other stuff.
Yes, that you could always, like whips is a pretty easy one to work on.
Right.
So.
And the whips rules is just anytime before January 1st.
Yeah, it has to
A lot of people have been casted on December 31st, which qualifies. So.
Yeah. All right, and we are running a contest to win a copy of the amazing lace book that we reviewed last week that was published by Cooperative Press, and Cooperative Press has given us a final book in our series, Modern Lopi, that we'll be reviewing next week. We will draw a winner for Amazing Lace, and we will start a contest for Modern Lopi, so check in to that next week. And if you're in the RAV group, don't forget to put a chance in the contest so you could win that book.
It'll be nice. It's a nice book.
It's a nice book.
A lot of techniques.
Yes. So I guess I am first, and on the dance card, let me just get to the middle of this.
She's not ready.
I have been working on, I don't even know where I wove all the ends in, so I'm not, oh, here we go. This is the front. This is my Indigo Frost poncho. I got this is the neck. Got the neck done. And I just finished the color work. I'm trying to get it so you can see what it looks like. There we go. I just finished the color work, the slip stitch color work section, and now I'm on the body. All I have to do is knit stockinette with the random odd eyelet.
Is the eyelet every few rows? Like, is there a certain, or are you just throwing it in whenever you feel like it?
No, it's definitely a pattern. I think that it's, I can't remember. It's like every couple of rows. Okay. There's one. I'm on an eyelet row right now. And
all right.
Are probably 2 or 3 rows in between it. And they're just to give, like, texture to the fabric. I thought when I looked at the pattern that was how they were doing the increases, but it's not. They're just decorative. So, which is fine either way. So, I have this much left in my first skein of
Dream and Color.
Classy. So I need to wind another one, which is why this project stalled, because I didn't wind another
How
ball.
many skeins of this color do you have, out of curiosity?
I have 6 total.
Oh, plenty.
I have more than enough. I have a sweater's worth. So I can make this really long if I want to, which I might. I don't know. I'll just kind of like
play by
see
ear.
how it goes. But yeah, I'm down to like here. Can't really see because it's on my needles, so it's short. But I'm like to here. I've done that much, and it's a fun, relaxing knit because a lot of the time you're just doing a stockinette, and it's in the round, so there's really no purling.
Right.
And once I got the slip stitch pattern done, you know, occasionally I'll have to count in between the eyelets, but it's like mindless, so I don't mind it. So that is, the main color of this is Dream in Color Classy in the In Vino Veritas colorway. And I used Classy scraps and some Dyeabolical worsted weight in the Polar Vortex colorway as the accent colors. I used a navy blue green, which I think was Midnight, something Midnight.
Oh, yeah.
Can't remember what it's called. And I used the pink one that I have no memory of what it is called. But these are all just leftover scraps from my Dream in Color Classic projects.
Good way to get rid of them.
Yeah, I know. This was a good one. I have enough of them left that I could make a hat and mittens to go with this at the end.
Oh, wow.
So
that would be nice.
Yeah, it would be a nice little set. So that's number 1 is the Indigo Frost. And I tried to pull the chair out and it's so heavy, and I realized because my cat is on the chair. Let me just put this out of the way. I'm keeping that in my John Luke card bag.
Oh.
The second thing on the dance card, this actually got quite a bit of work done this week. I had a lot of time sitting and waiting, so I finally put a heel on my Jeck sock and started knitting the leg.
Looks good.
Yeah, I like it. So there it is. This is Fiber Nymph Dye Works Bound Space in the Lucky Cat colorway. And I'm using Jeck as the pattern. And I did a Fish Lips Kiss Heel. And for those of you who may ask, I just do a regular
Judy's
equilateral increase toe. I use the I can't remember what they call it.
Load Ring.
Yeah, but I use the one with the mother and the grandmother.
From Cap Orty.
Yeah, Cap Orty's.
I like how the colors are on the bottom of the heel and the cream is on the top. That kind of came out nice.
It came out pretty. And it looks like I barely...
I know, I like that.
You can't tell that you
broke it in. Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. That just happened by accident. I don't plan that out.
Happy accidents are always nice.
So that's working on.
Excuse me.
And the last thing, I don't think I did anything extra on this week, but I can't remember, is my Cash cowl, which has quite a bit of work done on it. This is in Into the World Manchester sock in the double rainbow colorway. And Cash is a free nitty pattern by Kiki Kawai. And I just love how this looks.
It's pretty.
And I'm just going to keep working it until I basically run out of yarn. And I have, like, it looks fatter than it is. I've been pulling out of the inside. I have, like, this much. I don't have a lot left. So I'll keep doing that. But those are the things I've been working on. And I actually knit quite a bit more this week than last week just because I wasn't sick. So, and I was sitting around and waiting for things a lot this week. So that's all I have on the dance card.
What I have on the dance card is just some socks.
Vanilla socks?
Vanilla socks, but they're not my usual. Every now and again I feel encouraged to do a cuff down sock. Not encouraged, I shouldn't say. I enjoy doing cuff downs. I really do enjoy picking them up. But toe-up socks with the Fish Lips Kiss Heel fits certain foot types, I guess is a good way of saying it. I learned with my son, who has a size 11 foot, that the short row heel, no matter whether it was Fish Lips Kiss Heel, which is a little bit deeper than the typical short row, does not always fit well with certain foot types. My son has a higher arch, I think, Although he is kind of flat-footed. I don't know. His foot is just weird.
It didn't work well for him.
It didn't work well for him. So I did his socks cuffed down. These socks are the same size. They're for a male. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. So I decided that I would stick with the cuff down and heel flap version. Just
because that has really, I think, the deepest heel.
Oh, it really, really does. It's easier to put on, and I don't know, it's just, yeah, it's a deep heel. So I'm using Patton's Croy. It's called Blue Rag Stripes, I believe, that my coworker gave me. Striped rag, yeah.
Blue striped rag?
Blue striped rag. Not sure why, because it's more than blue colors.
I know, it's weird.
So this is, I'm halfway done with the heel flap, and this is my second sock.
Great.
For some reason, these are flying off the needles.
I like Patton's. Patton's flies because it's kind of like sturdy or something.
It is. It's funny, though, because we've had this discussion. So the heel I'm doing is just their single, well, maybe not single, marl, I guess it's called, gray, that I swear I've used this probably for 3 pairs already, toes and heels. I'm just using the heels on this one. And it's listed as a fingering weight, but it is different. It's thicker.
It's much thicker.
It's much thicker than this one.
And that's thicker than regular yarn, regular sock yarn, I think.
Depending on, yeah. I mean, but I also find it's weird that this skein, which I'm using, seems a little thicker than the one that I did on my first one, which is really bizarre. But what I did notice, as soon as I cast on and was doing it, the red is a richer saturation. A richer red or something of that sort.
It's more saturated.
It's not as muted.
Yeah, the other one's kind of almost like there's a fade, a light fade.
Yeah, and
it.
I noticed that with the blue a little bit too. So, I mean...
Are they the same dye lot?
The person who gave them to me as a gift was excited because she got like a 30% off first purchase type of deal.
But she might not have known
didn't
about
look for...
dye
No,
lots.
I've been trying to look. I don't think it is the same dye lot. I can't find a dye lot on this. Like this, I can see,
like
but this one, I have no idea. So I'm thinking no, which would make sense. And my coworker Linda said the same thing. They're close enough. I mean, like I said, the person who's going to get them is not going to notice. I notice because I'm a knitter. You would probably notice because you're a knitter. It bugged me.
Care, though.
It bugged me for a little bit until I really looked at it and I said, "Oh, all right, never mind."
It's so
only because it's not for me. Again, I become a perfectionist when, well, I'm a bit of a perfectionist with my socks anyways, but when it's a gift, I even become more so. So they're not going to notice. The stripes are lining up decently okay. I want to almost say that the repeats, maybe that's not what the length of the stripes is slightly less than the first sock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and also this one, for some reason, has got a tinge of red and pink on it.
Oh, yeah.
So it will be interesting to see when I block it out. I might have to put some vinegar in it because this red, that might be why the red is a little bit more saturated because the dye didn't rinse off as much.
Oh, maybe.
So I'm going to rinse them in vinegar just because I don't want the pink to go throughout the whole red and the gray.
No, that would kind of ruin it.
I mean, if it does, then, you know, my son gets a
mask.
pair of socks.
Yeah, he'll take them.
Which kind of defeats the whole purpose of me making these. But, so that's all that I have actively on the needles.
Okay. Any dates to rate? I know I don't have any dates.
I do have a date to rate. I almost forgot. So I finished my second pair of my Blue Moon socks.
That was toe up, right?
This was toe up. Yeah, I've gotten to the point where medium weight, I think I cast on 60 stitches, toe up. I know how many rows. I know exactly because I've done it enough. This is a mill end, nothing fancy. Both of them. Size 2 needles. Came out really good. It's funny how Blue Moon can either pool or not, and a lot of it does have something to do with how many stitches are on the needle. And this came out really nice.
Yeah.
Not that I don't mind
really pool
pooling. No, it just came out nice and even, and I like it, and I love it. It's funny though. You can definitely see where my seam is.
Yeah.
Not my seam. I do magic loop so you can see where these are probably tighter until it blocked. This has not been blocked.
Yeah, the fold of your sock.
Yeah, the fold of my sock. So, and I also have a half date, Project Half, done. to rate. So I did one sock of my Blue Moon rag, and it came out really good. And I chose the gray for the heel. It's a slightly different gray than the sock, but again, it's not going to make a difference.
Since it's a toe and a heel, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
No, it's just the heel. I didn't do the toe. No, I didn't do the toe.
Doesn't matter.
Mainly because this is thicker, and it actually hurt my hand on the size needle that I was using.
Oh, yeah.
I would use probably, if it was a whole sock, I would probably use a size 2 on this. So I just did that, and came out really nice. I like it a lot. I did see somebody on Instagram who's knitting the same sock, and they used red. I'm like, oh, that would be nice.
Oh, red would be pretty.
Red would be very nice.
Blue would be pretty, too. Any of the colors that you picked up out of that would be pretty as a contrast.
I didn't have a blue for Croy. I had a blue cotton combination, and I didn't want to use that.
No, that wouldn't have been a good idea.
No. So this is my project half done, and hopefully by next week, there should be no reason why, unless something catastrophic happens, that I shouldn't be finished with this pair. And I've already grabbed the bag for my next Blue Moon pair. I have not opened it. So it's in the bag of my Blue Moon bag. And, oh, by the way, I thought Wendy would be proud of me. This kind of matches. It does match. Without me even thinking, this is my bag from Lois that Wendy gave me for Christmas.
Yeah.
And not only does the bag match, but the stitch work is
They do. See? You're starting to fall into the way of bags.
You're molding me.
I am, in my own form. I'm subtly compelling
Transforming
you. Yes. It's what I do.
And I just want to say I love this bag.
Well, I'm glad that you like it.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. Oh, she does. She makes, I mean, I love my, I love all my Lois's bags. I love all my bags, too. I don't have many of them. I think, actually, more than you would think. I think I have 4 of them now with this one. A large one, a medium one, and now 2 of her zipper bags. But my favorite is a zipper wedge.
She likes that.
These are my favorite.
In the canvas material.
Well, even the other one from Rhinebeck I love.
That one is out of, isn't that one out of?
No, it's a little thicker, but it's not canvas.
No, it isn't. That's right.
It kind of looks it, though.
I helped Lois pick the
It does kind of look like it because of the way, but it is.
No, we looked at canvases, but we couldn't find one that suggested fall. We wanted it to be a little more like, I know that this isn't, you wouldn't scream fall, but it was like a darker.
It matched the color of the socks that we were all getting.
We were we were going for a thing.
But, I mean, I love this. I like how it fits, and I can just fold this under. Yeah. And I also have my little matching.
And it's nice that it has like a wristlet strap.
Yes, I use it, sometimes I'll just go in someplace like to lunch with my boy, and I take this in my wallet, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, you can just stuff your wallet in there.
So I love my little zippered bag. So between this and my Blue Moon bag is what I'll be using.
Speaking of Christmas presents, you'll have to go in the bathroom and see the hand towels that I bought with my gift card.
Oh, good.
I got them on sale. Oh, Kenneth Cole. And they were super cheap. I got 2.
Nice.
I was very excited about it.
That's all I have to rate my date.
I have no whirlwind romances except to say that my side thing has been my digital scrapbooking, and today I finished 2015 entirely. Yay. So 2014 done, 2015 done. Now I got to start working backwards.
But
starting in 2013.
And then after that, you're all caught up, though, right?
I am. So I mean, now. In 2016, I'll just scrap stuff as I go, and I won't have to go backwards. And it's not like I haven't scrapped at all. I have. I used to go to a scrapping night every couple of months with my friend Diane. And so I have some stuff. When I was sick and laid up in bed, I reorganized all of my albums. So now, when I start 2013, I can pull out one album and just make sure I'm not duplicating anything. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, all right. Now, let me ask you, the stuff from 2013 and beyond or older, are they hard copies or are they?
Some of them are things that are digital because I used to use an online digital program called Close to My Heart, but it wasn't very flexible. Like, you kind of had to stick with their kits. You couldn't mix and match and do anything. So it was good while I was still using paper scrapping. And then some of them are on paper scrapping, obviously, because I did paper scrapping since 2000, and I think I started in 2002 or 2003. So it's been a long No, even before that. Maybe even in like 1999.
Really?
1999 I might have started. I have scrapbooks going way back. A lot of the early books are finished because I didn't have kids,
right.
so I could finish things. But, around 2006, things are like hit and miss. Like I have a few things from each year. And I think I have 8 albums that are full or partially done from 2006 to 2015.
Oh, wow.
So I just have to go into each album and see what's in there and then go to my photos and see what needs to be on there. Fortunately, I have everything pretty much in digital format, all the photos, so I can just go and do that. But that's what I've been doing for my thing, and I'm really proud that I got those 2 years done. And my son is away for this weekend. I told my husband, take a lot of pictures, and when you get home, he can shoot them over to me on his phone, and I will put them in a layout. So I'm going to keep up with 2016 while going backwards.
That's good.
So that would be good. Future dates. I don't have any future dates right now because I need to finish anything that I have on the needles. So none.
I don't have anything planned right now. The Super Bowl's tomorrow, and I was hoping to finish Edison. I don't see that happening because if I finish it, I get a certain amount of points or whatever, but not a big deal. Right now, my attention span and my time constraints, I don't know if that is really the word, but is socks. They're mobile, portable, however you want to say this, small little projects. At some point, I do have to finish my other fingerless glove.
Yeah, you can tell when I've had to be out of the house a lot because I work on that sock project or on that other one, the portable one that I don't have to take a big bag with me. Yeah,
so I mean right now because I've been doing off-sites, socks are really what's going to be my future dates for a while. It just works, and I just want to kind of knit through the stash a little so that maybe I can purchase more. Although socks, really, I shouldn't.
No.
Anyways, just socks. That's all I am planning. That's all I am planning on is socks. Maybe a baby blanket, but that's like big maybe.
Yeah.
Because for me to knit a baby blanket, I got to finish that shawl first.
Yeah.
And I should. Maybe I'll pull it out watching the Super Bowl.
Baubles and Bling. I had a big day, a big mail day. We had a snowstorm on Friday. We got like 6 or 8 inches.
About that.
So
on where you were.
It snowed in the morning, and it kept snowing until like 5 o'clock, basically.
The sunset was beautiful.
Yeah, it was all pink. It was really beautiful.
Really pretty.
So that day, I got 2 big things in the mail. And the first thing was my friend Pat, also Sheila's friend Pat, Looney Hiker, bought me a Starbucks mug. Oops. A Starbucks mug from Florida. Oh, it's so bright you can't see it. There.
Future's so bright, you gotta wear shades.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's hard to see. Yes, I love it. I love the colors. Look, it has like the rocket, NASA.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Like from Cape Canaveral, and oranges, and like the little beachside townhouses and the palm trees. It's so pretty. I haven't used it yet because I wanted to show.
I like that. Now, that looks like a different size than the other mugs,
no,
or are they all the same size?
They're all the same.
All right, it just looks
and
different.
They all
it might be the color.
They all stack.
Oh, nice.
So, like, they have a ridge, and they fit right in each other, so they fit really well in the cupboard.
So how many do you think you have now?
Like, probably 14.
Oh, nice.
When we got rid of all of our other mugs.
Oh, yeah.
So that these
well, what I like about that, too, is you know how the big thing these days is wine charms and beer charms and all that?
Right, yeah.
With
everyone
the coffee
knows.
Mug, yeah, with the coffee mug, you know that you have Florida, or you have, what was the island?
That one. Jeck Island.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeck Island is a different shape than the other ones.
Oh, it is? Okay,
yes.
maybe that's
that
what I'm
one's
thinking.
Slightly smaller.
Okay, maybe that's what I was thinking, because that looked bigger than the last time I had seen one.
But the other ones are all like this. And I like how they're all different, but they're all in a theme, so they kind of go.
Right.
And, when I get my new house, I hope I have a place where I can put them in the open
nice.
so you can see
like
them.
little hooks.
Yeah, that would be cute. And she also found this bunny
That's
rabbit
cute.
sock monkey that she got for me. She was going to give him to me when we go to Maryland Sheep and Wool, but I am not going to Maryland Sheep and Wool this year.
No?
No.
Oh,
I have too much going on.
okay.
We have to put the house on the market, and I have some medical stuff I have to take care of. So I just was like, you know what? I can't do it this year. I can't take that time off. We'll see what happens. Maybe I've been thinking I might like do a trip later, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But definitely won't be Maryland Sheep and Wool this year. So I got this from Pat. Thank you, Pat.
It's cute.
That was cute. And then I had told you about this last week. This is Dyeabolical Yarn in the Targi sock, which is just yum. And it is called Derby Girl with big stripes. Dyeabolical Yarn is doing self-striping. I know, I love this. I love this so much. I was not going to buy any more yarn, but I had to buy from Rachel because I love her stuff, and I'm so happy. I was like, did you read my mind? You need to make self-striping. So she sent me this, and it came with, she usually sends a little sample. This is the cacao,
I think is how I would pronounce it. Cacao.
It's kind of the same thing, but it's spelled Kakao in Squishy Sport. That's really pretty.
Single ply.
I like that. It is a single ply. And she sent me a new thing that she has, which I love. This is her lip balm, and this is the monkey farts flavor, which sounds gross, but it is coconut oil with sweet almond oil, avocado oil, and flavor oil in it. And it smells so good. But it was really funny because I got the sock monkey and the monkey farts thing all in like one day of mail. It was like a monkey theme.
It was funny because she's like, here, smell it. I'm like,
she was like, I don't know if I
what
want
a monkey
to.
farts smell like. And I'm like, oh, all right, that makes
Coconut.
sense.
They smell like coconut.
I know, but it's just a
she
funny
didn't know
thing.
they smelled like coconut, so she was uncertain. But I have it on right now. It's really good.
Feel good?
Mm-hmm. My lips have been so dry, I think,
Oh
because
my
the
God,
house is so dry.
Well, every place is so dry, I mean.
Yeah, so thank you, Rachel, for my stock yarn and my little extras. And you can check her out at dyeabolical.com.
I have to say, the only thing I've knit with her is some worsted weight, and I loved it. I would like to knit more someday.
Yeah,
I loved her. I think I knit a hat and a scarf or something. Fingerless mitts or a bunch of, like, I still think I have some left over to, scraps to use, but I love the feel of it.
Well, and my gray sweater, that has held up.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wear that nonstop. Her worsted is just beautiful. So
Maybe someday I'll invest it for a sweater for me whenever that comes.
Whatever.
This is supposed to be the year for it, but I don't see my mental...
I have big sweater making plans for the fall.
Yeah,
but
mine just...
for now, I'm like, I'm just going to go with the flow.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? For now, I'm not committing to anything except for socks, because that's about where I am. So I did not have any baubles and blings to show, but I got a surprise when I got here. So Pat Looney Hiker, when she sent a gift to Penny, Wendy here, she sent a gift to me.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate this. Thank you, Pat. She had spun some handspun from Highland Handmade's Pitch Pine Top. What you see is Polwarth, and I've only knit handspun one other time, and that was when Wendy spun some fiber from
CJ Kopech.
CJ Kopech and the Death to Ovarian Cancer. So this, I can't wait to spin it. I love the colors. I spin it. To knit with it. I love the colors.
Yes, Pat, that's beautiful. You did a lovely job.
I can't wait. And it's so soft and squishy.
Yeah, I know. What a nice lady she is.
Thank you so very much,
I love Pat. Give our love to the judge. I love the judge, too. He's kind of awesome. His honor. So
that's all I have.
That's it for Crushes
nice
and Heartbreaks.
surprise.
My nose is starting to run. Crushes and Heartbreaks. Let's see what happened this week. My crush is I had my final appointment with the weight center, and everything is going well. I'm starting my diet, and I'll just be following their instructions, and hopefully that'll work out well. So I'm happy that process is like finally almost at an end, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I have one more appointment that I'm waiting on hearing, and then I'll be in the program, basically,
Yay.
doing the program. So I'm happy about
Exciting.
that. Let's see, what else happened this week? This week seemed so busy to me, but I'm not sure why.
Don't know.
I don't know. Oh, well, you know, I do know why. Because my kids had a half day on Wednesday, and then they had a snow day on Friday. That's why it seemed like I was busy, because half the time my kids were here, and they normally aren't. We did get snow, and that was kind of a crush, because we haven't really had much snow. So, and this was like a modest amount of snow. It didn't like shut down. It's not
Snowmageddon.
No, it didn't shut down the city for days or whatever. I know some people lost power because it was a heavy, wet snow. Yeah. But we didn't lose power. So it was kind of nice. The kids had the snow day, and my husband came home early. He actually was teaching at Cambridge Ringe in Latin that morning, and they didn't have a snow day, so he had to go in and teach. Yeah. He's doing a program through his work where he mentors and teaches high school students in the sciences. So that was nice that we had the kids and I just kind of hung out. They got to play in the snow, and it was a nice day.
Good.
So those are my crushes. I don't really have any heartbreaks this week.
Crushes and heartbreaks for me. I believe I might have talked about Zachary's prescription.
Yeah, you did.
My God, that was even more of a nightmare.
Did it finally get worked out?
Was it this Monday or was it last week?
I know you talked about it last week.
Yeah. All right. So no, it's been resolved so far. We have to go and get him blood work. And I realize a little bit more of why we do, because this is what I didn't realize. Apparently, so the prescription that was in question is his Prograf. That's his anti-rejection medicine. And our insurance denied name brand because he's never tried generic.
Right.
And I'm like, well, just try it. Well, I didn't realize there are 5 companies that make the generic brand. And what they do is CVS will contract with who's ever cheaper. So this month it could be brand A, next month it could be brand B, and each brand mixes it slightly differently, which can bring his levels off. So anytime I notice a slight change, he will have to get blood work to make sure that his levels stay right. So I think we're going to do blood work on Monday because we have a hearing aid appointment. And the building that he's got an appointment in, depending on what time we get out, also has a lab.
Oh, that's good.
Winchester lab.
Yeah.
So, and the guy that I know who works there at night, I don't mean to be mean, I will trust him with him. Do you know what I mean? It sounds mean. It's like there's just certain people that I work with that I don't trust with my child. It is what it is.
Yeah. No, there's no, you can feel whatever you want to feel about people.
I have other people who would agree with me. But, so it was just frustrating, but at least now we know what's going on a little bit more.
I get why the insurance company wants to get the cheapest
absolutely
drug, but at the same time, for certain things, I feel like you shouldn't be like messing with it.
The hospitals fought for very, very long to keep generics off of this for this type of reason, because this isn't a sinus cold. It's this is not something that you can take Tylenol or anything with. This is life or death. You're dealing, you're fooling around with somebody's life, basically. Right. And somebody put a link in last week's show notes.
Oh, I saw that, yes.
About CVS Caremark giving a young girl
denying
a hard
her
time for her chemo drugs.
And giving her parents a hard time. Like that stress.
It's probably not so much CVS as again, it's the insurance company. No. But you just feel like you're losing the personal, like even my local CVS, when Zachary first got diagnosed with cancer, CVS is huge, don't get me wrong. But the people there seem to know us because we were there frequently. They're like, oh, how's he doing? Now I go in there and there are stacks of baskets to be filled. It's like, it just has become less personal.
Right.
Less of a, what do they want to call it, like mom and pop store type
Well,
of deal. And CVS isn't, and I understand that, but I don't know if it's this CVS in particular is just so
well, there
busy.
are only, it's probably one of those few places where you can get special drugs because that makes it an issue too. So if it's one of only a few, more and more people who need those kind of drugs are going there, and then they get really busy, and that's because it's not spread out over all the...
Right. And I mean, it could be that it's 24/7 for this pharmacy. I mean, the drug in question was through the mail. We have to get it through the mail because it's a specialty drug. So I don't know. If we find that the results on this is changing too much, then the liver clinic will then fight really hard. Then they will have proof saying, well, this is why we want them on the name brand drug and not the generics, because now you're torturing the poor kid by getting blood work and he's only 12 and so forth and so on. So that's a crush, heartbreak, whatever. The kids had a snow day yesterday, which I had to work. Snow or no snow, I have to go to work. And actually, I drove in yesterday, and I was looking outside. I'm like, should I bring my boots? Shouldn't I bring my boots?
Because it wasn't really snowing that much in the morning.
It was raining. It was pouring when I left my house at 4:20.
Oh, yeah. It was. Yeah, I can hear it.
And then by like 5:15, when I looked out the windows, it was snowing. So in that meantime, it didn't bother me to get there. My kids' school got called off at like 5:30. And
they didn't call ours until 6:15, 6:20. Lily was already dressed for school.
Zachary went to the bus stop because I guess we were having some problems, and a lot of other towns were as well having problems with their phone systems.
Ooh.
So Zachary went to the bus stop, and I was laughing when Cam was telling me this, but apparently there were some other kids who did as well. When Zachary came back, Max looked on the website and said, no. Cam texted me, but during that time, I'm in the middle of my deep draws. I keep my phone on me, but it's on vibrate. No, I can't look at it. I'll look at it on occasion just to make sure there's no emergencies, but he knows if it was an emergency to call the hospital itself anyways. So that they had a good time, but I put the responsibility on my oldest, Max. He's 15. And I remember this, and you may remember this, when your parents still had to go to work, because they did. They went to work when there was a snow day. It was our responsibility to make sure the driveway was clean when they came home.
Yeah.
I put that responsibility on him, and he passed with flying colors.
Oh, that's good.
It wasn't, I don't know how often he went in there, but he just pushed it. Because there were no cars in the driveway. He was just able to push it, because I think if he kept up with it, it wasn't heavy. You didn't have to shovel it. And then after it stopped about like 5 before it got dark, the both of us went out to clear off the driveway real quick and get the end of the driveway. So that was good. The biggest problem was for me getting out of our parking lot because they had plowed.
Yeah.
The way that they plowed, the snowbanks were in the front of the car, and there was no snowbank in the back. So I cleaned off the car. I had to reverse it, which... The way we park is we just pull in. It's a one-spot type of parking where I park because I come in so early that you just can pull in, and then when you leave, you pull out type of deal. You know what I mean? But because I knew there would have been no way I would have gotten over that snow. But it wasn't high. It was like this much. But I have a Civic that has a low front.
Yeah.
And from my own experience in my driveway, I know I can't get out of that, so I backed
I had a bit of trouble getting over the little bump that was left behind my car after Jim did the driveway.
Really?
Yeah.
It was slippery because it had rained first.
I had to pick my daughter up from a friend's house at 9 o'clock last night, and I slid through an intersection. Fortunately, it was in the neighborhood section, so like there's nobody there. Right. But I stopped in my car. I was like pumping the brake, and it just kept sliding because the roads were terrible there.
Coming down my road, that section where you then go here by the church, I took it, and I was going slow, but I must not have been going slow enough. I went like this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and it just went. I almost went 180. Gosh. And I kind of, what do they say? Turn into the curve.
Don't try to turn.
And I tried that, but it wasn't working anything. I didn't step on the brakes. I just kind of let it I took my foot off. I just let it go. Thank goodness there was no car there because I would have easily hit them and caused some major damage to the car.
I was driving like 10 miles an hour. I mean, I had just dropped the kid off, and I was just going to the intersection, and when I stopped, you know, I have anti-lock brakes, so it's like, it makes that like, yeah, and I'm like, crap, and I'm stopped, but my car is still going about 5 miles an hour through the intersection, and I was like, I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that was exactly what happened to me too. And then as I come to go down another street to get into my yard, I was really going slow. Like super, super slow, that somebody probably behind me in a bigger car was ready to kill me. But taking my turn, because it is a very sharp turn, there was a car, I didn't see it, but I could see what had happened. She had taken the turn and slid and hit the stop sign.
Ooh.
That when you come out of that street, and I took it really slow because I did not want to take the turn and then hit her.
Right.
So I was good, and then I took it slow down to get my street.
Well,
I was not taking chances.
I have 4-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive, whatever you want to call it. So I don't usually slip around too much, and it was really funny because my street was like completely down to the pavement.
Really?
But for whatever reason, up higher, it's a little bit uphill there towards, it's more towards Saugus.
Okay.
It was slippery in that neighborhood. There was ice on the road, so I was like, ugh. I drove really carefully after that, but
when I was driving this morning, the highway was bare, which was nice. Some of the back roads weren't, I mean, for most of the part, they weren't bad. When I was getting up to the hospital I work at is on a hill. Yeah,
it's in kind of a neighborhoody area, too.
It is. It's called a community hospital. There's not very many of them around anymore. But when you're going up the hill, my anti-lock or my skid resistant, whatever it does, coming on, and I'm like, oh, please don't stop.
Yeah, that's either way you go up to that. Either way,
it's kind of like the old adage. I had to walk uphill both ways.
Yeah,
there is no way of getting away from that hill. And then when you leave to come down it, either way, because I usually go up one way and come down the other.
Yeah.
Just because of how it's situated. It's steep. It's a really steep hill. I don't know what grade of hill it is, but it's a steep hill. So.
Yeah. See, the rest of my town does a really good job cleaning the streets. I have to say.
You would think the town that the hospital in is would do it too.
Yeah, you know what? You would. Well, wouldn't you think that Wakefield would do a good job? On their street, they have the worst roads.
Why?
They don't. It's like they don't even bother to plow. Well, that's a nice town. They have a lot of They have a lot of business there.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more hospital and emergency. Wouldn't you think?
I know.
I don't know about.
We have a hospital in our town.
I was just gonna say maybe that's why your town does a better job.
But you know what? Like I said, they do a great job on the main streets, but some of the side streets were pretty sketchy. Now, my little dead-end street was fine.
That's funny. Out of all the places, you would think it wouldn't be.
I know. They didn't even used to plow our street. They used to just blow it off. You know what I think?
I think a bigwig on your street now.
Well, I think the former mayor owns that building right there. So that might be why. But I think it also depends on who's running the plows. I think some plow people, because they're just guys that get hired.
Yeah, they get hired by the town.
Contract work. Yeah. I think some guys do a better job than other guys. Like the guy that was doing ours he'd go, they back down because we're one-way street. Yeah, they back down, plow up, and he would back down and plow up a second time. Every time he did 2 passes. And I think that's why our street looks so good, because he really got down to the pavement.
Oh, good.
So that was nice.
That is good. I mean, it helps. It's funny because I will honestly say, my street address, I live on a corner of 2 streets, and our driveway is on this one street. My street address is not where my driveway is. And I'm so thankful because they don't plow our street very well.
That street is...
It's horrible, and it needs to be replaced. But the problem, I guess, is that if they were to pave it, it's a dead end, but on paper it's not.
Right.
So if they were to pave it, it wouldn't be a dead end.
Because if you try to take the GPS directions, it will tell you to go to Sheila's house via a road that doesn't really exist. I mean, you can kind of drive in that little weird.
No, you can't.
You can't get all the way through. I don't know, but I just remember that. I was like, where I could.
Whenever we have people coming over, I always tell them it's the corner of this and that, and our driveway is actually on this street.
On paper, the street one row over is a dead end. In reality, it's a dead end street, but there's another half of it. There's like a little strip of land with a house, and then there's the other half of the street. So a lot of times on GPS, people think they can go all the way through. So you see people drive down there, and they're like,
around.
What?
Yeah, you see that with us, too. And as a matter of fact, because of where my driveway is situated, it happened 2 days ago that we tend to get delivery people in our driveway for the house next door.
Oh, right.
Because they're looking for the number 10. They see a driveway, and they just
pull in.
And I usually try and stop them before. I'm like, we didn't order anything. I can see it. Like, yep, not us. Number 10. I'm like, next one over.
Yeah, that's just weird.
It is weird. It's so, when we had to call the ambulance when Zachary was little, I told them I was real panicky. I'm like, make sure they know it's the corner of this and this. Because, I mean, you want the ambulance drivers
you want them to find you. This was nice about my street. There's only 4 houses on my street. It would not take them long to find us.
Well, again, it's because my street actually gets broken up in three different streets.
Yeah.
2 breaks. So I don't want them fooling around. And yet, also, when you look at my number house, it tells you to go all the way down the street when I'm actually on the corner.
Right.
For some reason, my friend, my coworker Eileen was picking me up when I had my car issue, and it brought her all the way down the street.
Yeah. The GPS to Sheila's house, you just
don't follow it. No.
You can't follow it. You just can't. You have to pay attention. Like, after the first time when I'm driving around, that doesn't look right.
And it's not in Hicksville. It's not like my town is Hicksville. It's just the way that the street is on paper.
Your neighborhood is kind of like in the woods a little bit.
It is a little bit more. We've had, like, my house is probably the oldest one in the neighborhood. It used to own all the other houses' property.
Yeah, that was probably all the land.
It was. It used to be a crabtree orchard and swamp, which would explain why we flood. So it's one of the older, houses in the neighborhood that they built the streets as they kind of went along, and I don't know why they didn't go through with certain ones. But
no, there's probably things like that in every town where, the people
sure.
that did the map looked at the like planning paperwork or something, whatever they looked at doesn't. I mean, it may have been that at one point they were going to make my street next door go all the way through, but then somebody sold that land and they built a house on it, and then they were like, yeah, we'll just leave it. So it's the same street, but there's like a section in the middle that you can't drive through. Right. That's very weird. So I think people just assume that it's a through street.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
They get a lot of turnarounds.
We get turnarounds, too, because of the same thing.
Yeah.
The GPS is telling them to take it, which is also weird because my GPS will actually, instead of, the best way is to go down the street, take a left, and there's my driveway. But for some reason, the GPS tells you to go down the street, take a left, then a right down another street, and then a left so that the house is on the right instead of left. Sorry. Hubby, looking for me. But, so, it's
right
just...
back and say none of your business.
I told him where I was going.
I thought you just did, yeah. So, anyway, I think that's it for Crushes and Heartbreaks.
Yeah, I think we've talked enough about streets and everything.
Yeah, sorry about that little side thing. When you live in New England, everything was built, like, before...
GPS.
Before people really used grids to plan.
Right.
So everything
they followed the beaten path.
Right, the natural.
They followed the beaten path.
Whatever way people took their horse and buggy or whatever, they were like, let's make it into a road.
Exactly.
So it's all like crazy. And, it's funny when I go to places like Los Angeles, for example. Everything is so like in a grid, you know? It's awesome because it's really hard to get lost. You know that if you go, like if you miss your street, you can like turn and you're like...
Maybe 2 streets down because one way is a one way.
Right, but it's in a grid. You just have to get back. That doesn't happen here.
No.
No.
Because one street can take you this way.
Oh, and
you really want to go that way?
My favorite thing is that you can be on one street without getting off it, and it can be like 7 different streets. So people are like, I live on Frederick Street, and you're like, where the heck is that? Well, get on Joyce Street and stay on Joyce until it turns into Main Street, and then stay on Main Street, and it's just like, you're like, so basically it's the same street, but it's just a different address.
Concord Street in my town is the same thing. It turns from Concord Street to some other street, and Church Street turns into Main Street. I'm like, and it was only Church Street because there's 2 or 3 churches right there, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh
we
my
have
God.
Franklin Street that turns into Green Street, that turns into Howard Street, that turns into Main Street.
Oh my
It's
God.
like, people will be like, I live on Howard Street, and I'll be like, okay, what is that next to? Because I don't know where it falls
on that street. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
very
funny.
confusing. And then sometimes there are just a lot of... I got lost in Boston on Monday when I went in for my doctor's appointment. I didn't get lost. I missed the Government Center exit off Astoria Drive.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention, and I just didn't get off there.
Okay.
So I had to get off at Copley.
Yep.
And, like...
Backtrack.
Yes. And I got down...
Which is not always easy to do.
What I wanted to do is get to the street that goes up by the State House, because I knew if I went past it, you can go around the corner and go down to Cambridge Street, and Mass General Hospital's there, because I was going to Mass General Hospital. And so I headed, the park was there, so I headed around the park, but I was on the wrong side of the park. And when I went to turn to get onto the road that would lead me to the State House, it was one way the other direction. So then I had to drive through Downtown Crossing, which is great, except that Downtown Crossing is not open to cars
in certain
at
areas.
all times in certain areas. So I had to go left. That was my only option. And then get on the road that I was trying to bypass that was going in the wrong direction. So I was like, I made like a circle. Like I was like, grr! So I got back on the road and I turned my GPS on, and I had to get back on 93.
Oh, really?
And go north, get back on Sturrow Drive. I had to like do the whole thing over again. I was almost late for my appointment, all because I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, that's Boston driving, it's an adventure.
New England driving is fun.
And I have driven in Boston like since I was in high school. So it's not like I don't know anything about it, but they have been changing things a lot down there.
Yes, a lot of construction.
So, but this was on me. I wasn't paying attention. I was like, yeah, I gotta wait until I get to that thing. And then I saw the Arthur Fiedler footpath bridge, and I was like, crap, that's too far. I was supposed to get up there.
That's funny.
So anyway, gossip and innuendo. Don't forget next week to check in to hear about the Amazing Lace winner and to hear our review of Modern Lopey. And then Sheila has drawn a winner for Socks at Rock.
So the Socks at Rock prize is a pattern of your choice by me this month. And Crystal from Vintage Fairy is donating one of these each month. It's a needle holder, and I think it would still work for circulars.
It would work for circs? You could probably stick your crochet hook in there too, if you wanted to.
Absolutely.
Just to hold everything together.
So if you were to use Magic Loop, I'm just going to show this with mine. And I think we've done this before.
Oh yeah, I use those.
So you just put it in like this, snap it. And see, here it is, your needle minders, or whoops, I didn't have that in all the way. That was my fault. It was.
Yeah, I have these that I use a lot for lace, so that the needles don't slip out of the work. That's nice.
And
then they won't poke through your bag.
Yeah, that too. I've had a few of those. So the winner for January is Siberian Cat Penny from Indiana. Penny, contact me through PM on Ravelry with your snail mail address for this, so I can send it out to you.
And that has a little stitch marker too, a movable stitch marker.
Yes, with one of those clasps. It's a little fairy.
Probably from Vintage Fairy.
Hence the reason, the name. Let me know what pattern of your choice you would like and your snail mail address so that I can send this out. And just so you know, we started the new contest.
You continue to post in the same thread.
Same thread. And I will draw from post 250 on until March.
So keep going in that thread.
And by the way, the post number was 10. What I did is I just took the pictures because there's chatting in that thread.
Right.
Which is fine. I have no problem with that. And I counted what was finished. And I did 1 through 13.
14, 13.
I was post number 1 originally, but I just didn't count my picture. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. I am. I'm having fun.
Well, she's getting stuff done.
I am getting stuff done. For now. We'll see how that works.
Tune in next week for the Modern Lopi book review. I think that's going to be exciting. I knit a Lopi sweater back in the day.
Did you?
Yeah, I want to say like in the 90s I knit one, but it's kind of having a comeback. Lopi's kind of having a comeback now. So I'm interested to see this book.
It'll be fun. Maybe I'll get inspired.
You keep talking about knitting a sweater. I don't even react to it anymore.
I know.
Because I'm just like, I
really do want to knit a cardigan.
When you actually have a sweater cast on the needles for yourself, then I'll believe it.
The reason I want the cardigan is because I don't like the full, like, I like to keep it open.
I like a pullover, but if you get too warm, it's nice to have a layering thing and have it open.
The problem is to do a cardigan style, you gotta knit and purl, and my hands don't match.
Or
unless I want to steek, and I don't know if I'm ready to do that. Yeah.
I don't think it's as bad as people are all like, oh, steeking.
No, everybody who does that, and they're like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah, as long as you sew down the edges so it doesn't come apart.
Yeah. So that might be something I do because we'll see. We'll see, but not anytime soon. But anyways. Are we done?
We are done.
All right. Thank you very much for watching us.
Have a great week.
Knit with Heart.
Bye.
See you next week.